Welcome to the Marvels, Mysteries and Midlanders podcast. Prepare to take a dive into all things mythical, eerie and downright strange. Stick around. You might just enjoy yourself.
What are you like when you're drunk, Lewis? Can't imagine.
I'd like to think the same. You can probably tell me different, James.
One of his biggest quotes when he's drunk is, "I want to go dancing! I want to go dancing!" Every time we've been drinking, me and Lewis, he says it. "I want to go dancing!" And then we end up dancing somewhere, whether it's, just in an alley or in a living room or at a club. But yeah, he's just, if you can believe it, more confident than he is normally.
I think that's dangerous.
Is that the accent I put on? When...
Yeah, you did say, "I want to go dancing," rather than "I want to go dancing." It's "I want to go dancing," James. It is. You obviously, pick up a southern twang when you're
Take me dancing, James.
Take me dancing. Take me dancing.
I think the only time I remember you drunk is at bowling. Remember Aldi bowling?
Oh, back when we used to work at Aldi, what was...
That was a bit of a shit story.
I don't remember it. That's probably why I don't remember. What happened? Just quickly, because hello everyone, you listen to Marvels, Mysteries and Midlanders. We are going to start the episode at some point, but we're currently digging up some stuff I don't remember. Is it okay to tell on air?
Maybe.
Just do it, man.
We could chance it. I didn't think it was anything bad. You didn't do anything bad.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, wait. Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember. Oh, basically, yeah, there was multiple affairs that happened that night. That's the right night, yeah? Yeah, multiple affairs night, yeah. Yeah, basically, there was this party at Aldi, Christmas party, bowling party, whatever, and basically, 20 people ended up sleeping together that night. Well, that's a bit of an over-exaggeration, but yeah, there was a lot of
infidelity.
That is correct. Yes. So yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's like when me and Adam used to work at Aldi together. Just a quick little information blast. Yeah, that's how me and Adam met. We worked at Aldi, and we both hated it. Yeah. So yeah. So welcome to Marvels, Mysteries and Midlanders. I'm James Alexander. This fella here is.
I am Adam Daly.
Sounds very unsure about that.
I think.
And who's that? Who's that man there? Who wants to go dancing? It's Lewis Carter.
Lewis.
Yeah, it's Lewis Carter. Dancing boy, yeah. So, welcome to the episode. Welcome to the podcast. I hope you have a good week so far. I hope you are well. Hope our voices come to your ears undisturbed. Yeah, we'll go with that. So today we are heading to the US of A. Yeehaw. We're heading to a place called Fairfax County in the state of Virginia. Home of the CIA and population of 1,147,532 as of a 2019 survey. But why are we here? So far away from home. Well, listeners, we like to make you feel included. So yeah, we like to branch out a bit further from the old UK sometimes because, hey, sometimes we get to teach you something and sometimes we get to just give our own interpretation of a wonderful urban legend. First things first, not related to the episode or yet again, but it is, but I'm just trying to be funny. How would either of you feel if you were being stalked by, I don't know, say a person dressed as an anthropomorphized animal? How kind of similar to the killer clown sighting craze we had here back in 2016. Do you remember that?
That was a killer clown.
Do you remember the killer clown? You remember the killer clown sighting in 2016 when all over England people dressed as killer clowns were appearing and stuff? I think everyone freaked out.
I remember something.
You must remember it slightly, at least.
You must remember it.
Come here and remember. Yeah, you must.
Yeah, because was that when it came out?
Well, it came out in 2018, I'm sure. So it came out but everyone was saying it was still inspired by Pennywise, the dancing clown. Yeah, do you remember it, Lewis?
I do, yeah.
Were you pretty frit about the whole thing?
No.
Well, that settles that then.
No. Simple clown.
It's no match for Lewis Carter.
You like to go dancing, clown?
Imagine Lewis and the clown doing the Pennywise dance in the streets. I want to go dancing.
Lewis's compulsion to dance is stronger than his fear for clowns.
So how would you feel, either of you, if you were being stalked by an anthropomorphized animal?
What is anthropomorph, man?
Anthropomorph man.
Animorph.
Anymore?
Is it animorph? That's right, Liz. No, an anthropomorphize or an well, why did I choose that word? It's basically when it's like having human characteristics. Human characteristics. Jesus Christ. I used the word and I wrote it and I knew what it was, but as soon as I'm put on the spot, I just completely forget what the word means. So basically say like a man dressed as an animal. Say you've been stalked by a man dressed...
If a man was stalking me dressed as an animal, I think that would cause me some concern. Rather than like
in a horse costume.
Yeah, horse costume works for this, or parrot, cow, a man in a man costume. That's kind of close.
That would scare me even more than a man dressed in a...
Are you wearing my neighbour's skin? So how would you feel, Lewis? Because Adam would have cause for concern.
Is it in the daytime or in the night time?
For this scenario. Why does that make a difference?
That's the main thing you're worried about, Lewis.
I'm sorry. For these situations and scenario, we'll go for nighttime. You've just come out. You've just come out of your local club. You've been dancing. You've been dancing the night away, and you're walking home. You're pretty jolly, and then next thing you know, you've got a man in a horse costume following you. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. I'd be like, all right, mate. All right.
I'd be wondering if I got slipped anything. Do you know when you have to double take?
I would just think it was somebody and fancy dress.
You're a very rational man, Lewis.
He is. He's so rational. That makes sense. Okay, I'll take them, and you'll just be concerned, yeah, Adam?
Yeah, I'd have to do like a little double take.
Okay.
And say, when you just like walk past and you think, did I just see a horse?
Yeah.
And then you walk back and you think, that's a horse.
Interesting, a horse. Nice. Okay.
But not just that.
Yeah.
That's not a real horse.
It's a man horse. It's a man horse. Not a centaur.
I think I'd approach this man horse. What quarrel have you with me, man horse?
Have at thee, man horse. Before I tell either of you what today's topic is, I'll just start with the opening, the first statement, should I say. So, on October 22nd, 1970, Air Force Academy cadet Robert Bennett was in town with his fiancée to watch the Air Force and Navy football game. After the game, they decided to take a drive to the nearby Guinea Road and pulled up for some general chit-chat and maybe some smooching. I don't know, I wasn't there. So, As the evening went by, it was just after midnight and all was quiet, as you'd expect. All of a sudden, a ruckus began to come from the nearby woods. The bushes were shaking, like there was some sort of wildlife altercation. It continued, until something leapt out. And that something was a man. A man dressed in a white suit with long bunny ears. He ran directly towards the car at a frightening speed, shouting, "You're on a private property, and I have your tag number." Before Bennett and his fiancée even had a chance to question who or what he was talking about, the rabbit man threw a wooden-handled hatchet straight through the passenger side window, shattering it completely and covering the couple in shards of glass.
I'd say, you're at the wrong convention, my friend.
Well,
It's not for you.
It's not for you, buddy.
What did he ask him?
Lewis?
Have you got a tag number?
He said, "You're on private property, and I have your tag number." That's what he said.
And then he attacked him.
Then he threw a hatchet through the window.
Right.
Good. Okay, so before Bennett could get out of the car and deal some of that Air Force sanctioned pain, the Bunnyman was gone, skipping off into the night, presumably very pleased with himself. So before I, continue the story, I want to introduce you both to the Bunnyman of Virginia.
Does he dress up as a bunny, or does he just use the ears?
Well, that's the thing. Different interpretations. So there's one that's a full bunny suit. There's one where he's just white. And there's another where it could be like bunny ears, but with his face showing. There's many interpretations of what you could think. There's no real clear... I mean, in my mind, it's full-on bunny.
Yeah, I like to think it's like a full-on bunny. And he has like...
You like that rabbit. Or you want that?
I want that, personally.
Yeah.
Intimately.
Yeah, good.
And he has like rabbit themed weapons. I feel like the hatchet's a bit of a cop out.
Like a sharpened carrot.
Like a
a carrot shiv.
Yeah, a carrot shiv.
Eat your vegetables. Yeah.
I don't think that's his message there.
No, he's all about that property and tag number business.
It is borderline fetish worthy.
Yeah. Well,
it seems to be a theme at the moment.
It's funny you should mention that because the police were able to retrieve the axe from the scene, but there was no further clues to indicate who did it and what the hell his motive actually was. Perhaps he genuinely did own where they were parked, or was it some kind of Halloween dress rehearsal at the same time? Maybe. Or maybe he just liked dressing up that way. Or maybe, just maybe, he was some sort of proto-furry.
See, that's what I was getting at with the convention thing.
Oh, I had a feeling you were, but I didn't want to, just jump straight into the furry business.
Didn't want to...
disrespect the furry. Yeah, disrespect the furry, yeah. I mean, if there are any furries listening to this podcast, good on you.
Let us know.
Let us know.
Do you like the Virginia Bunnyman?
How do you feel about that? Do you feel he lets down your organisation? The correct
organisation of Virginia Bunnymen. Yeah. Maybe that's a separate one.
Yeah, maybe that could be a whole different thing. That sounds like a comic book, really. Doesn't it?
Wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise. The world is more mysterious than we realise.
Magical.
Magical. Sorry, magical with a hand twirl. Yeah. When the police were finished with the axe, studying it and reviewing it, whatever, they actually gave it back to Bennett for some reason. The man who was attacked by it. They were like, "Yeah, mate."
So they gave him the weapon.
They gave the hatchet. Yeah, they gave him. "Yeah, mate. Nah, nothing on this. Have it back."
The 70s was a crazy time.
No, someone nearly killed you with this, but how cool would it? Why don't you have it back?
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, Bennett.
Bennett. Yeah. So the police gave the axe back, and then that was it. That's all they could do from him. There was no one found out who he was. The axe was thrown, and he got glass thrown all over him, and.
I love just imagining Bennett receiving the hatchet and being like just shrugging his shoulders, like, "Sorry, mate, what do you want me to do?"
And that's that, ladies and gentlemen, is how axe throwing was.
And that's the tale of the Bunnyman.
Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. That was brilliant. So that was the first case, but this wasn't the only encounter that month somebody would have with the Bunnyman. That wasn't the only encounter that month that somebody would have with the Bunnyman. It was fast forward nearly 2 whole weeks to Halloween 1970, which is a lot more fitting for some weird stuff like this, isn't it, really? Yeah. A lot more fitting. Just to make this whole situation a little bit creepier. It was late evening, roughly between 9 and 11 p.m. Like last time, we're on the Guinea Road, the same road as last time as well. And the night is winding down. The odd noises of lonely cars in the distance. Maybe a few dog barks, whatever 70s Virginian street sounded like back then at that time. Maybe it's just like automatic gunfire on the streets.
Gunfire every single night.
Just that all night. Sorry for spitting on you, Adam. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the serene noises of a Virginian evening. And also, if anyone is from Virginia listening, I don't know what it sounds like, so I do apologise. It's all in good fun, guys. Come on. Enjoy yourselves.
It's just a joke, guys.
It's just a joke. Don't cancel me. Then through the... Please! Okay, so, then, through the darkness, a familiar figure appeared.
Warsaw, Virginia.
Yeah, Warsaw, Virginia was the result of the Swedish-Russian war that took place because of the
the
fish farm last episode. So yeah, Warsaw, Virginia is merely a byproduct of that. So I hope you guys like listening to M16s going off all night because Vietnam has come home. Yeah, so then through the darkness, a familiar figure appeared. A man wearing a furry rabbit suit with 2 long ears yet again. This time, wielding a 2-handed axe. He's leveled up, and also because Bennett's got his little hatchet now. So through the dark streets, a thudding began to echo, getting a little louder, a little more aggressive with each thud. A deep, thunking sound. Paul Phillips, a private security guard working for a construction company, was in the same proximity to the strange noise. He obviously didn't want to leave his post, and then again, he didn't have to. Through the darkness, a familiar figure appeared, a man wearing a bunny suit with his axe. So Paul had seen the Bunnyman chopping at a support beam on a new but unoccupied house. Philip started to slowly approach the completely sane individual. He tried talking to him, presumably asking him what the hell he thought he was doing, and that's when the Bunnyman started chopping faster and faster. And then he turned to Phillips and muttered, "All you people trespass around here! If you don't get out of here, I'm gonna bust you on the head!" Sensing it was going to be a case of bringing a gun to an axe fight, Paul ran to his car to grab his pistol. As he swerved around to get some answers from the Bunnyman, he sprant off to the woods once again, or hopped away, whatever the Bunnyman does.
So he was chopping down the house?
He was chopping a support beam of a house. A new but unoccupied house.
What's his motive here?
Apparently, he thinks he owns the whole area, man. He thinks he's some sort of
crime, the bunny crime lord of Virginia.
Yeah, that's what we're going with. Yeah, it's actually some sort of interesting crime syndicate. You know,
/ furry convention.
Yeah, the furry mafia of Virginia.
Oh my goodness.
We're onto it, guys. We're breaking through. Yeah.
It's very loud, isn't he, when he talks?
Yeah. The police reports did state that the Bunnyman had a, let me just open up my imaginary notepad, excruciating, annoying, loud voice. Yeah.
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 What do you think it is with that axes?
Yeah. I don't know. That's the thing, like, I wish I could say this story's going to have a satisfying payoff where you go, oh, so that's why he uses the axes. You know, like you do in films where you say, oh, he picked up an axe, that's why he used it, blah, blah, blah. But it could just be a case of maybe his occupation was a lumberjack. Maybe he was, you know, just into it. Maybe he just liked chopping. Maybe he was trying to get better at chopping wood and went a bit mad.
Yeah, maybe that was
maybe
was to hand.
Maybe he stole it from a DIY. There's so many options to consider, and because it's an urban legend, there's not always answers for it.
What else is supposed to chop a house support with than an axe?
A Swiss Army knife, maybe. A
good old-fashioned saw.
A saw, maybe. You know, I mean, obviously, he wanted to be quiet over the sounds of the M16 in the night. Obviously.
Until he started speaking.
Until he
started the whole neighborhood.
Until he started speaking and letting people know he was there. Yeah. Carry on with the story. So, upon reporting it to the police, he said the man was about 5'8", 160 pounds, and appeared to be in his early 20s. Now, I don't get, based on his outfit, how we'd know what he looked like. Because if he was completely dressed as a bunny, how would he know what age he was?
That is true.
Unless you have one of those bunny-like suits on where your face is, like,
yeah,
there.
Circled out.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. The question is then, do you think his face was, you know, white out and he had like bunny whiskers painted on or glued on, or do you think he just went for the?
Just kind of defeat the purpose of the rabbit suit if you can see his face.
It's
especially
true,
if he's you know, have some murderous intent. You'd want some anonymity. Alas, this bunny is not very smart.
He was killed by a walking bunny, sir. Yeah, so there is that. But now we have two documented Bunnyman with axes sightings in a 2-week period in Fairfax County. Now you have to ask the question, is this a copycat person copying the first case? Okay.
No, straight away from Lewis.
Oh, that is true. Oh, you're cracking the case there.
Because he sounds exactly like the other one.
Or is it, maybe it's just one man, some kind of sinister mammal-loving madman, or a syndicate, as we discussed. Either way, he has some land ownership issues. That's what I've picked up so far.
A little 2-bedroom house built on his hatch, maybe.
My eggs are in there! What are you going to say?
Do the rabbits have eggs?
The Easter Bunny does. That's not what we're talking about, is it?
We're talking about the Easter Bunny. We're talking about this raw man of bunny here.
Excuse me.
He likes carrots and he likes humping. and he needs the land to do it.
He needs the axes for it. So he reported it, and again, nothing was done about it. So before we go further, Lewis, I want to do some improvisation with you, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I've got no script for you this time. We're just going to wing it.
Yeah.
Mate. So, you know, I want you to be funny, and if you're not, it's just
okay.
Pointless. Okay. But I have one condition for you. At some point during our conversation that's going to happen now, you have to incorporate the sentence, non-stop pop of stainless steel.
Non-stop pop of stainless steel.
That's the one, yeah.
What's a pop?
It's like, you know, a gun going off. Non-stop pop of stainless steel.
It's just the way he said it.
Sorry, non-stop pop of stainless steel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's going to be a similar situation to, what happened to Paul Phillips. So you're at home, and you hear inside your house, someone's hitting the bricks, and you come out the house, and you see the Bunnyman there. So we'll start. This is my property, and you're in my land, boy.
What you say?
I said.
I don't hear so good no more.
You can be Lucy's live-in partner if you want, Adam, as well. I said you're on my property, and I'm gonna ask you if you don't get off of it.
I think you'll find you're on my property.
I can imagine it just being like completely formal back and forth.
Well, it's actually mine, and if you don't step away, I'm gonna hit my axe.
I recommend you stand away from the window or receive a non-stop pop of stainless steel, boy.
And that was the end of the Bunnyman.
Okay, I'll just go then. Mate, yeah, great. I think that's exactly how it would go. And then obviously Adam was there briefly.
I was the neighbour.
I don't hear so well anymore. Yeah. Oh. There's more still to discuss about the Bunnyman urban legend and what went down. But first, let's get down to some academic research and analysis. You may not like this, but it is sometimes essential to kind of getting into the background of these tales, so buckle up.
Are you alright?
You got your smarty pants hats on, gents?
I hope so.
No.
Adam, I'm relying on you for this. Okay.
All right.
So I hope you're listening. From the 1950s through to 1990, various students at 3 Maryland universities collected and researched into numerous local legends. In 1973, University of Maryland student Patricia Johnson submitted one particular legend called the Bunnyman. In the section labelled Introduction to Folklore, she interviewed 33 students from Prince George's County, Maryland, ages 15 to 18. Prince George's County is around a 45-minute drive away from Fairfax County, where these two first cases happened. So through her research, she narrowed down the sightings and the Bunnyman to certain specifications. The first one being, every encounter takes place in an urban setting. The encounter had existed prior to her project, and 3 appeared in print as truth. Though there are a few you can actually find in print, there's not loads. The first 2 are the main ones people talk about that we've spoken through already.
Yeah.
But there's one more kind of written, but it's more the urban legend side, which we'll get to after this section. She also goes on to state that included in this collection is an article from the Washington Post, which verifies the story as truth. Johnson's informants told 54 variations of the story, which that really ties into the urban legend side of it quite well, because like a lot of urban legends, there's always a base kind of center to it, where it's a figure or like something that happens, like, Bloody Mary. You say it 3 times, she comes through the mirror, and you've obviously got the Japanese ones where a woman comes up to you with a mask over her face and asks if she's beautiful. In either way, she attacks you. And we'll get into that. You're looking at me like you don't know, and that's good because we're going to get into that one day.
Oh, God.
But basically, yeah, there's always these variations to the legend, but it always comes down to this core setting, and in this case, it was the Bunnyman. So what she'd learned from these variations was as follows. So 14 different geographic locations are mentioned in various urban legend stories about the Bunnyman. 18 of them involve the Bunnyman, chasing or frightening people, usually children, with a hatchet or an axe. 14 of the informants told of attack on cars. 9 of them claimed he attacked a couple parked in a car, which links back to the first story. 5 accused him of vandalism or on homes or buildings, which goes up to the second story. And only 3 actually mentioned a murder. Because there was actually no murder in the first 2 stories. But the murder comes from another story, which we'll be talking about shortly. Based on the widespread geographic locations and the significant variation represented in the tales, Johnson concluded that the Bunnyman was an urban belief tale or a very efficient madman. I'd go with that, you know. So she's saying it may not be true, even though you're okay.
Got to clear the throat there.
Looking at obviously what Johnson had come up with for her research and the stories you've heard, the two apparently officially recorded stories. How would you describe it as an urban legend? I mean, it is an urban legend, but would you see it as such?
I don't really know. I think I'd see it as like Chinese whispers, hearsay, like.
But that's kind of one urban legend, isn't it? Chinese whispers.
It could have started as like a bunny that looked like a man and that happened to have like a sharp claw.
A bunny with a man's face.
Or like someone got scratched and like had some hallucinogenic trip by a bunny. This is a bunny man.
I was going to go down the line of a guy got scratched by a radioactive bunny, started growing white hair over his body. It was actually, it just so happened to look like a anthropomorphic bunny. Why am I using that word? Anthropomorphic bunny suit. There we go.
Yeah, I think like an urban legend, definitely.
Get ready to hear. So now we're going to actually look into, because obviously this was the stories first started in 1970. Though the Bunnyman's true identity has never been known, it's remained unknown for this entire thing and probably will forever. It's not the first time he appeared. So the strange sightings and stories are also happening somewhere else. And this area we're going to now is actually, this is the area where everyone believes it happened. It's called the Colchester Railway Overpass. If you're not familiar with what one of those looks like, it's basically like a very small tunnel in a wooded area on a road. But obviously it's a tunnel with cement above it for a train track to go over.
Oh, yeah.
So you see it obviously in American films more, obviously, because that's where it is.
Yeah.
But we do have them here as well, but they seem a lot smaller in America. I think only one car can pass through at a time. So yeah, we're going to the Colchester Railway Overpass, now lovingly nicknamed the Bunnyman Bridge. So this location itself is roughly about 7 miles away from where the 70s sightings happened. So it's still in the same area. It's not just way off. It's still in the same state, just simply down the road, really. But it's definitely a creepier setting.
It kind of takes away from it being 7 miles away, though, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
Like, let's say you murdered me now, and you dressed up as a bunny, and someone saw you, and then you travelled 7 miles
Mum
and
might
said,
see me.
"This is my bridge now."
That you mean? This is my bridge now.
Like, of course, the Bunnyman Bridge.
Yeah.
7 miles from his last murder.
I mean, I get that, yeah, but it's.
I suppose the bridge isn't, conveniently located at my house.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe if I went into your garden and said, "This is my garden now."
The Bunnyman garden.
The Bunnyman garden, yeah.
The
exactly.
Bunnyman hatch.
The Bunnyman, exactly. But it also plays up to, again, like most legends, it plays up to what is seen there and how, like you said, Chinese whispers, it goes around. What does it develop into? It's like when you tell a joke, isn't it? And then you hear it going about, and then you hear it again. It's a completely different joke. Or a lot more complicated than it needs to be.
Butchered it.
They butchered my joke! Yeah.
Look what I did to my boy!
That's my boy! Nice little Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire reference for you there. So, this first original story, which is a full-on urban legend story about how the Bunnyman came to be known, especially at the Colchester Railway. This is how the legend of the Colchester Railway Pass apparently formed. So we're going back to 1904.
Wow.
That's quite a time away.
It's 66 years earlier. 66 years earlier, mate. 666! Yeah, so... The Colchester Overpass legend arose at this location when a nearby group of inmates were being transferred from an asylum when their bus inexplicably crashed near the tunnel, which is just, it's just typical. The patients were unleashed into the night, and luckily Michael Myers was not one of them. Or was he? Oh, but no. When the emergency team showed up, a few of the escapees were immediately taken back into custody. The crew began to search the surrounding area, finding some mangled corpses, presumably thrown from the wreckage of the bus, but something was still wrong. Some had the telltale signs of being in a road accident, but others had been more brutalized. Like a building rage had been released onto the unsuspecting victims by someone or something. Someone had really gone to town on these bodies. More disturbingly, as the search continued, some bodies were found hanging directly from the Colchester Overpass. You can't tell me I busted that.
It depends how far they were thrown.
Well, into rope that also wrapped round them and also wrapped round the overpass.
You never know. What a marvel.
What a mystery.
Cue the Midlanders.
We're here.
I didn't realise he had. I'm going to be picky, but I didn't realise they had buses back then.
Or rope. What's a bunny doing with rope?
They are buses, Lewis. There were buses back then. I mean, not the most, obviously, it's not a double-decker from, obviously, our standards, but there was a bus. I mean, it isn't like a very high security bus. I can see why people are scared. There's one I'm looking at here. There's no doors on it. It's literally just no wonder they escaped. And I can't imagine them going very fast either.
It looks like a big tuk-tuk.
Yeah, it's a big tuk-tuk. Yeah, it does look like that. But yeah, I think if one of these crashed, I think everyone would be fine. I don't think you could be thrown out of it. Maybe a slight bruise if your head hit a pole, but it looks like the slowest vehicle in the world.
Yeah.
So did the Bunnyman, like, did he kill them and then hang them?
I'm assuming so, yeah.
Or did he hang them? And that was it? Or maybe they were thrown from the bus. They were writhing in agony. He thought, you know what? I'm going to be a good guy here.
Well, I'm going to kill myself.
I will hang you. Put you out of your misery.
It's just like, oh, I'm in pain. I'm going to kill myself. No, it's not.
Well, he went up to them and thought, someone's dying. I'll kill myself.
People who flung from the bus were like, oh no, I'm going to kill myself.
No.
Oh, right, okay. So
the Bunnyman did
Bunnyman
that.
was doing some assisted suicide.
Yeah.
I get it. So as these, obviously they found these bodies hanging from the overpass and they're like, okay, something's wrong. Something's really, what's wrong with you?
Just imagining the Bunnyman. Someone's writhing in agony, like, about to die. And he's just like, oh my God, are you okay? And he's just like, I better kill myself.
No witnesses.
Case closed.
Well, it's funny you should mention that because the bodies hanging from the bridge also had a note attached to them. And it read simply, "The Bunnyman."
There you go.
I mean,
So when were these people found? When did the accident happen and when were the people
it's the
found?
same night. It happened. The bus left the asylum about 10 seconds down the road, crashed into a tree really slowly. Everyone was flung out, apparently. Some conveniently got tied up in the rafters of the bridge and were hung. Bunnyman helps them kill themselves and wrote a note on them. But that isn't the end of the story. It's not over yet. So at this point, if you're taking this seriously, you'd be calling the big guns. You'd be like, okay, holy shit. The people are getting murdered. The Bunnyman's on somebody's hanging from a bridge. What do I do? You call in the people who deal with bunny-related murders.
The vets?
The vets, yeah, they're calling the vets. So as the brave rescue team began to fan out into the area searching for the remaining convicts, they began to come across small bits of flesh and small bits of fur attached to it. The pieces began to get bigger and bigger until they found multiple mutilated corpses of rabbits. Some looked half-eaten. Others flayed and hung in the trees like some kind of twisted decoration or warning. As the team stood amongst the viscera, wondering what the hell was transpiring, the sound of a few twigs cracking gently pulled their attention to a dark opening just past the absolute mess. And then he appeared, clad in white fur and wielding his trusty axe.
So the Bunnyman kills bunnies?
This one does. He's been eating them and chopping them up.
What a dick.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's killing his own people. He has no allegiances.
True. Maybe he thinks if he eats the bunny, he'll become the bunny.
Become the bunny.
Maybe,
the bunny.
Maybe that's how he made his suit.
Well, it's all, that'd be gnarly, wouldn't it? Like a really crudely stitched together, like furry bunny suit. Yeah. Ooh, Lewis, you should go into a costume design.
Imagine going to FurCon like that.
Furry con in like some sort of
real rabbit fur ears.
It's real rabbit fur. Do you like it? Yeah. So he appeared with his axe out and he was ready to clown around. The Bunnyman had entered the game. He'd logged in. He'd updated his game and he was there. But instead of going for a 1v5 clutch, he decided to flee to a safer space to presumably pick them off one by one. Just like the patients.
Smart man.
Exactly. You gotta take advantage of the situation you're in. As the rescue team gave chase through the maddening darkness, just barely keeping him in their gaze, he was cornered on a nearby train track. They slowly closed in on the furry madman, but just like the movies, a train appeared mysteriously out of nowhere and ploughed the bunny bastard into oblivion. But no corpse. Nor weapon was found, presumably because he was still attached to the train. But who knows?
Did he have his two-hander on?
I mean, yeah, I think he was going for the old Zweihander.
If he had his little hatchet, he's gonna have to wait for the global cooldown as well. So little nerd.
Do you want to explain that to the family?
No, I really don't.
What if, like, the Bunnyman just showed up? He wasn't actually involved in any of this at all, and he basically got framed for it. You know what I mean?
Unfortunate.
Very bad timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if he just thought? I'm going back to the note attached to the people hanging from the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
What if he just thought that his reputation far exceeded what it actually was, and everyone, like, they got the note and they were like, "What the fuck is the Bunnyman?" And he was trying really hard to be noticed, and then no one just cut him down.
Yeah.
It was a literal Bunnyman.
And he got hit by a train. That's how things go sometimes.
No return ticket.
I'm taking a one-way ticket to Bunnytown. Yeah, so he got hit by the train and he couldn't be found anywhere. He was just stuck to the front of the train like a dead fly or whatever. However, another interpretation of this story exists. Instead of the bus crashing into the domain of the Bunnyman, it was actually one of the escaped mental patients called Douglas who was slowly killing off the others with a strange bladed tool. It's not known if he was, dressed as a bunny, because he was obviously straight out of the asylum. And the strange bladed tool could have just been translated to an axe through various tellings of the story.
So he was using a bunny as a scapegoat. How ironic.
Exactly. Escape bunny.
Escape bunny.
Yeah, exactly. But this marked the end of the Bunnyman's first attack, but the beginning of a truly fantastic local legend. So apparently the following Halloween, 1905, more kids were killed in the area by the overpass. And then consistently, nearly every decade until the 70s, more children who were hanging around the overpass on every Halloween were murdered by this apparent spectral Bunnyman.
So do you think there's, like, people imitating the Bunnyman going around killing?
That's the thing. Yeah, obviously it's an urban legend. Okay, I have to say, obviously it's an urban legend. But the thing is, you could be right with that, because someone hears about it and they go,
There's some crazy people out there.
Imagine, like, on one Halloween, like 5 people turn and show up,
if you had
look at each other and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Like a cult of bunnymen.
Yeah,
and they just, like, surround you. I'd be a little bit scared about.
Or they just tell on each other. There can be only one. There can be only one.
I can't remember the film.
Yeah,
there can be only one.
Highlander.
That was it. Yeah,
Highlander. Yeah, Highlander. So yeah, that is a possibility. There is the possibility that these people, there were copycats, or it was just scary stories made up to freak kids out or make them not go there. The best way to spur children to go to a place, but also keep them away, is to make up something absolutely horrifying. It makes perfect sense. The story of the asylum, the nightmare woods, and the choo-choo manslaughter apparently is all fake. It's all pure speculation. But even if it was, it's still a great story. I'm not saying I want it to be true, because people died.
Everyone dies every day, James.
Everyone dies every day.
Everyone dies every
day.
Every time you go to sleep, you die. Sleep is the cousin of death.
That's so wise. Oh, sleep is the cousin of death.
Shout out to my man Vinny Paz there.
It's like the age-old discussion of, can you wake up dead?
Oh yeah, that's a bit of a paradox, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is, guys. Yes, it is. But yeah. So the first thing I want to say in regards to all these sightings, that it's very possible that he wasn't actually wearing bunny ears. I find this quite interesting, because this is a southern thing as well. So some witnesses describe that on his head he was wearing a capirote, which is a form of Christian pointed hat, which has also been given a more infamous reputation thanks to the Ku Klux Klan.
But there wasn't any, like, reported racial...
No, there wasn't. As it stands, there was no racially motivated attacks from the Bunnyman itself.
Or maybe he just wanted to hide as a member.
Exactly. Perfect cover, and you instantly freak people out when you're dressed as a stupidly pointed ghost. It's...
Maybe he just wanted to take attention away from the...
It wasn't me, it was the Klan. Yeah, so it gives a different edge to the story, though, if it is true, if he actually was a person in a KKK robe. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, the actual KKK solidified themselves as boogeymen long before this urban legend had even began. So the Bunnyman could just be... Maybe it's just a form of byproduct of it as well, if you think about it that way. But yeah, as I said previously, the Bunnyman's reign of terror continued over the years, apparently murdering groups of teenagers who were maxing, relaxing on the overpass every Halloween. It became his shtick to kill kids. You know, come for the urban legend, stay because you've been chopped into oblivion, you know? It's all fun and games.
Everyone's going to have a hobby.
Exactly, Adam, exactly. He was also said to have murdered 2 disobedient children in the Clifton area for, again, trespassing. The trespassing comes back into it again. And apparently he hung their bodies from the overpass. That was another angle to it.
I don't get the territory thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, rabbits themselves, bunnies aren't, as I know, very territorial creatures in terms of aggression.
Yeah.
Maybe this is what happens when you become a bunny man.
Becoming the bunny. What is a territorial animal? It's like a swan.
Oh.
Swans are territorial. Aren't they?
Well, you know, cats are territorial. You know, foxes. You know, it's like their patch, as they say, isn't it? You know, even most animals are territorial.
But bunnies are like prey, aren't they? They don't predate anything. Is that the word? Predate?
They predate the apex predator.
They don't predator anything.
They don't. Well, yeah, but
maybe
I mean,
it's like an overcompensation then.
My friend Matt did have a rabbit called Buttons, who definitely was a predator. She was a very aggressive rabbit. She attacked foxes and cats.
I thought that was going in a whole different direction.
No. Not. This is a family show, everyone. Yeah. So you know, like not all rabbits, obviously. This particular rabbit may have been very territorial. Maybe this is what the Bunnyman was going for. He was going for the whole animalistic, territorial vibe potentially. Yeah. You know, maybe
of all the animals.
Of all the animals, you chose a bloody bunny.
Maybe he had like a childhood bunny that he loved.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh.
And he was honouring it.
Yeah. Little Bartholomew.
My bunny Barney! Marvels, mysteries, and... Midlanders? So, to wrap it up, other murders that were recorded did happen in between 1904 and 1970. Eva Roy, who was assaulted and strangled to death in August 1918, Loretta and Catherine Ridgway, who were bludgeoned to death in March 1927, and Francis and June Holliber were shot to death, with their daughter being buried alive in February 1949. These were real, and these were genuinely brutal murders.
Do you know what? I can't think of anything worse than being buried alive.
Drowning, being burnt,
I'd rather drown
to death.
No, I'd bury him, like, if you are like buried
being
underneath the
slowly
soil,
buried as well. Yeah. Like, it's terrifying.
Actually, just running out.
There's many just thinking about it right now.
I hope everyone's having a great evening.
The sweet release of death. Yeah, you know, there's the possibility that it's definitely not a pleasant way to go. You know, but
I think dying in general is probably not very pleasant.
Oh, you know, don't knock it till you try it, mate. You know,
the Bunnyman did.
Yeah, he had a great time. So yeah, the thing is with these murders I just mentioned, they were at some point pointed towards the Bunnyman legend once again, because they were so brutal. But eventually the perpetrators were found for each one, and each one of them was not a bunny or owned up to being one. You know.
So what we've all just talked about was shit.
That's why we do this job, guys, so you don't have to. But yeah, I think these tales bled into this local legend. And, you know, it just adds to the mythos of the Bunnyman. You know, the area being haunted by a man in white, sightings of more dead animals, the sounds of hearing an axe being dragged across the floor, and screams just deep in the woods. I mean, you hear screams all the time, and you just accept it, you know? You just deal with it. But if you're enough of a bad man, you can actually hang out at the Colchester Overpass on Halloween night, where you'll have the pleasure of hopefully meeting Mr. B. Man and getting clapped upside the head with some sharpened steel. To end it there, like most local legends, it draws a lot of attention every year. But the people who live in the area, the actual residents, they actually don't like it at all. Apparently, it says that people get malicious and vandalise the area every Halloween when they come around. Apparently, during Halloween 2011, over 200 people had travelled far over America to see the overpass itself, just for the Bunnyman legend. And they were turned away during a 14-hour traffic checkpoint into the area.
14 hours.
14 hours. So that's it, guys. That's, as far as I know, the tale of the Virginia Bunnyman.
It's interesting, like, I'll get serious for a second now.
Get serious.
But, you know how you say, like, I have a feeling it's going to be a common theme. You're going to tell us these tales, and they're just going to be like, it's not true.
I didn't say it wasn't true.
There's some, like...
I'd like it to... No.
Yeah,
Every time I say I'd like it to be true, it sounds messed up.
I
like it that people died.
The fact that, you know, let's say it wasn't real, and there's this, you know, reports that come through that this is the person that actually did it. Mm-hmm. Like, when people look back and they see it. Oh, there could have been this Bunnyman, and then they do replicate the Bunnyman, and then it's like a bit of a full circle. He's actually real eventually, like in the future. Because people imitate.
You will it into existence, but not by just willing it. You physically go out and you make the legend happen.
Yeah, something that wasn't real then becomes real in the future because of the very fact that it doesn't exist. If that makes sense.
That is deep.
Yeah,
I like that though, but I don't because it's terrifying. Because people are
You're only causing the problem, James.
You are the problem. Yeah. Please, again, if you are listening to this and you feel yourself getting really spurred on to go and do some murder dressed as a bunny, please
let us know.
Yeah, obviously, if you're having some mental health issues, do get them, looked at by a professional. We are not professionals, but we do obviously have our opinions on mental health. Everyone has it. It's something we have to deal with as a person, and ignoring it isn't good. It is terrifying that someone could easily wake up one day and just create, make a legend real. I mean, obviously some of them you can't, like Gawain in the Green Knight. You can't just get your head cut off and then be fine and turn up a year later and be like, chop time.
That's a shame.
It is a shame, but we're we're not at that level yet.
If it was the same bloke or same thing or animal.
Well, he'd have to be quite old, because 1904, say he was 18, up to the 70s, he'd be,
That's weird it's interesting about them not letting him into the town, isn't it, for Halloween?
Yeah. I mean, they're saying it's down to, obviously, people, getting rowdy and stuff.
Yeah,
but
vandalising.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, but is that the only reason why? Or are they actually doing it to protect them?
Yeah, maybe so.
No one got to see that then. I did the cool little mysterious dance. So yeah, there is that as well. That's what I love about these legends though, because there's no real, I can't express it. It's just cool because obviously you can instantly go, it's not real, it didn't happen. This is the logical side to it. But at the same time, why does it exist?
Yeah.
It's
a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's fantastic because obviously, like with most of these things, as the listeners have come to know now, I always want to believe in the supernatural side of it because it's just interesting thinking there's this crazy stuff that doesn't exist. But I'm willing to believe the realist side to it because I think if you start saying that everything's real, then you start to lose a bit of credibility.
Yeah.
It depends what you say is real, I guess. Or when I say it, I say it's more I wish it was real rather than I believe it's real.
Yeah,
like ghosts, which I definitely believe are real. And we'll get into that one day. Sorry.
I don't know. It's because people often say like the truth is stranger than fiction.
Yes.
And it comes then to the argument of would you rather believe something that is real or go on? It's almost like you accept it. You almost accept your own reality, don't you?
You have to, mate. You have to.
Whoa.
Getting deep again. I'll leave it here. Obviously, we spoke about the Bunnyman, but I've got one more little thing for you to do. If you're really into the Bunnyman, you want to get to know more about the Bunnyman, there's plenty of films to watch. I did a little research into IMDb, guys. Check these out, Lewis and Adam. Check these out. So in 2011, Bunnyman was released. A couple of dim-witted teens get chased by a killer dressed in a bunny suit, and that received a very generous 2.9 rating out of 10 on IMDb. And then 3 years later, in 2014, Bunnyman 2, The Bunnyman Massacre, was released. Bodies pile up as Bunnyman indiscriminately slaughters anything that crosses his path in a mutually beneficial relationship that gives Joe plenty of beef jerky to sell in his local store. Okay, I don't remember. I don't know who Joe is and why he's selling that cannibal beef jerky, but that's part of the plot. That received a 4.0 on IMDb out of 10. The game better. And then this film didn't have a year of release, but let's just say it was 2 to 3 years later. Bunnyman 3, Bunnyman Vengeance. Now, the deadly adventures of the Bunnyman continue in the third and final flatulent film in the Bunnyman trilogy. 3.1 IMDb out of 10. So yeah,
flatulent.
Flatulent, yeah. That leads me down many roads to think what it's actually about.
The final flatulent
flatulent film. How about that?
They were thinking of a word that begins with F.
They were.
They wanted that little bit of...
flatulent?
Yes.
That's the one, Johnson. That's the one.
Nailed it again.
You keep doing
Bunnyman 3 is really going to take off. I just can't take the name Bunnyman seriously.
Yeah, I know. But what? Rabbit Lad?
Rabbit Lad sounds like cute.
That's the British version. Rabbit Lad for sure.
Rabbit.
Rabbit. Yeah, I can't think of any other name outside of rabbit.
Lewis, if you had to be a murderous animal in human form, what would you be?
Any animal.
Anyone. I don't care. Just let me kill people.
Yeah. So you're still like restricted to human movement, would you say?
Yeah. To be fair, you could, keeping in tradition with the Bunnyman 3, you could be a fish. And then that really would be a nice flatulent film then.
Can you tie it back to that bloody Russian-Swedish apocalypse again? Okay, cool.
We have gone full circle.
Hey, it took 2 episodes.
It's just a line, isn't it?
Yeah, here it is.
Whoa.
Whoa, time is a flat line. Yeah.
I think I'd be like a big cat, like
meow.
A lion or something.
Oh, you have to say it again out loud to the audience.
The Pussy Man. That's also in Fresh Meat as well.
It is, yeah.
like Joe Thomas,
Kingsley, yeah. So, Lewis, what would be your choice of weapon? Would you have, like, claws?
Yeah.
Right, okay. That's
I reckon you just, like, grow his nails and...
carve them into points. You have to make that noise as well, Lewis. You have to box people as well with your arm, like cats do.
Yeah, he's going to sharpen his nails on one hand. He's going to have a boxing mitt on the other. Because they're not going to know what he's doing at the time.
No, they'll be like, what's he doing? What's he doing to me? And then you're stabbing him. Yeah. What about you, Adam? What would you be?
Oh, God. I don't know, maybe some kind of hedgehog. I got nothing. Oh, no, that goes back to the furry thing there, doesn't it? That could be Sonic the Hedgehog.
It doesn't have to be furry unless you make it furry.
Wow, the Bunnyman did it.
Yeah, but you're not the Bunnyman,
Why does
mate.
he get all the fun?
He doesn't get all the fun.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. Exactly,
Not anymore.
exactly. You know, you could be anything you want. Hedge.
I might get sued if I become Sonic the Hedgehog.
You definitely would.
Like
Nintendo
Capcom.
get a cease and desist. Not Nintendo, Sega, sorry. You get a cease and desist.
It's a Capcom.
Capcom.
Sorry, guys.
You play games, I swear. But yeah, so would you have like a turtle shell covered in knives on your back? You just knock people over and jump on them on your back. I know, I'm too.
That sounds quite expensive, though.
Oh yeah, it'll start with one knife.
I have an overdraft.
Start with one knife, and then obviously as you earn money, add each knife to your back brace, your murderous back brace that's shaped like a turtle shell with knives.
Yeah, I
on
would
it.
have to get like some form of is it kyphosis? You're
I know.
around the back.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't have to if you just wore like
Yeah, it
a
would
thing
help,
on your
though.
back.
It would help.
Okay, if that's what you want.
We're kind of delving into like a turtle / armadillo
Yeah.
now. We'll give it some thought
The
another
turtle
time.
man, yeah. Mine would just be like, I don't know.
Turtle.
Sick. Oh man, yeah.
That could be my catchphrase.
I'm turtling. Yeah.
The knife just comes out.
God's sake. Okay.
You hear the clank of the metal on the ground.
Also, I want to discuss, since I've had my second COVID jab, I've developed like a smoker's laugh. Like a proper willow. Listen to it. What's wrong with me? Okay, and so that is the Bunnyman, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for listening. I hope it was educating and enlightening. But now we're heading over to Lewis Carter for his thing of the week.
It's not a podcast. It's a way of life.
Seriously, though, it's just a podcast.
Okay, so Animal Kingdom again. We had the
Back at it.
we've had farting fishes,
Murderous bunnies.
murderous bunnies,
Had those pregnancy frogs.
pregnancy frogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're really getting out there with the strange marvels
Plenty.
of animals.
Plenty of stuff like that. The cannibal bees.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember them? Yeah.
I have to start calling it Lewis's Nature Corner.
Maybe. No, I like the facts because it gives me more freedom. Anyway, we're talking about spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
Just like all animals, they need to breed, don't they? If they want their kind to continue, they need to procreate.
They gotta get, unless they're what's the term? Asexual? What's that?
Asexual, yeah.
Asexual spiders, yeah. I wish I could just produce a child without anybody's involvement, but my own. Yes. I know.
Well, these spiders, they need to procreate in the traditional manner. You've probably heard about these spiders before, and it's where the male and female have sex, but then the female tries to eat the partner afterwards.
This happened to me once, yeah.
Sorry.
Actually, it's more like it happened to you than me.
It happened to me?
I definitely feel like it's something that could have happened to you.
Someone tried to eat me after...
Yeah. I definitely feel like that would have happened to you at some point.
I mean, maybe not in my dreams, but my nightmares.
Wow. So you were saying that has happened to you, did you?
No, that's definitely happened to me.
Okay. No. Well, if you ever do find yourself...
Ask my wife! Sorry,
situation...
yes, don't let it happen.
This particular male spider has a solution to the problem of being eaten. So instead of hanging around to get the job done...
Send in the clones!
They've come up with a...
Get it together!
Yeah. So instead of hanging around and getting eaten, these males have planned for it. They can see it coming. They know what she's up to.
Word's got around.
Yeah, word's got around. If you hang about, you're going to get eaten.
Mate, she's a man of issues.
So they've come up with a cunning plan, which 88% of spiders will do every time. 88% of male spiders.
Doctors hate them.
And what they do, rather than hanging around, they just lick their penis.
What? They lick? Did you say they lick the penis?
Off.
Oh,
it breaks off.
We said lick.
Break it off inside the female and run away.
Eat that,
so they've got a detachable penis.
Wow, and does it grow back? Or is that it? Is that the?
I've seen no evidence. No, apparently not.
Well, I hope it was worth it.
Yeah.
Right.
What did the other 12%? This 12% just die then?
Yeah, they just get munched.
What would you rather do?
Would I rather have sex and get eaten, or I mean, either way, not having sex again. So yeah.
But you've done your duty as an animal to create the next.
What if it didn't work out? What if duds blanks?
Well, apparently. They think they might do it because it's more effective, because I think their glands, or their balls in effect, go along with it.
His spider balls.
Genitalia. So
imagine David Attenborough going, and then his spider balls armoured to shit. Sorry, go on, continue.
Yeah, they think that there's a better chance of the spider being inseminated because the balls go along with it, and there's more. There's more
they put the balls in.
It's like a weird kind of arachnid in vitro.
Yeah, it feels like I'm being taught sex education again, but it's just lies. So it's just mate, you put the balls in.
Can you imagine the 12% of spiders that don't get told?
Yeah, I'm in trouble, mate. They put the balls in and I ate him.
Just stick the balls. Stick the balls in, Joe. You'll be fine.
This is turning into such a let's conversation. Good. But continue, Lewis. Sorry, continue. So yeah. So they put the balls. The Brits, they break the balls off as well.
Yeah, the old genitalia gets jammed in there and broken off.
Breaking my balls here.
Stop busting my balls.
Oh, there it is.
There you go, yeah.
So yeah, 88% of of male spiders do. I've done that in research that I've carried out because
Imagine conducting that research.
From what it sounds like,
good
researchers were confused about, well, why would you want to break your knob off?
Do you reckon they just started looking at a load of spiders and thought, where are all their dicks?
Hey, Frank, listen, yeah.
Got a weird one for you.
I've got a weird one for you. Have you ever noticed how spiders they've got no dicks, have they?
Fucking hell, Frank, you're right.
Wait, you're Frank.
Why can't you be Frank
Frank and
as
Frank,
well?
sorry, yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, so is that it, Lewis? That's
it.
I feel...
If you're interested, the particular spider is called an orb web spider.
Orb web spider, okay. Brilliant. So I had Black Widow from my head the whole time just because I'm pretty sure well, that's why the term Black Widow comes from, because, man-eater and all that. But yeah, that's brilliant, Lewis, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, as always.
Poor bastards. It's like a lose-lose, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Life's unfair sometimes, man.
So next time you see a spider in your bathroom and you think, I'm going to kill it, just think, he's got a hard time already. Maybe just let him be.
Well, not a hard time. Yeah, it's true, I mean, I don't kill spiders anyway. That's trying to kill me. Apart from that one time. It's pretty gnarly. But yeah, Lewis, thank you for that. Was that on WTFfunfacts.com?
It was my favourite website.
Oh, there we go. Always a winner. Always a winner. So... yeah. So, any parting words from either of you today?
Bunnies don't kill people. No.
Axes do?
I think you should
Get
say the
off
phrase
my
again.
property before.
There you go.
You get the non-stop pop of my stainless steel.
There it is, guys. I don't think there's any better way to end the episode. So thank you to all of you once again for tuning in, for downloading. Before you go, I just want to do a quick social media blast, get all those links down at you. So obviously, we're now on Facebook. You can find our page, Marvel's Mysteries and Midlanders, on there. Give us a like. We post our updates on there if you'd rather go there than Instagram. We're also on Instagram as well, at MMMidlanders or at MMMidlanders. You can find us there. And also, if you want to email us any stories you may have, any experiences, anything interesting you feel that would be good to go on the show, email us at marvels.mysteries@gmail.com. And also, if you are enjoying the show and you want to support us somehow, you can leave us a nice review on Apple Podcasts if you do use that. So if you have the time, please give us a rating and leave a little comment. We'd really like to see what you think. Unless it's negative, in which case we'll read it out and shame you. But hey man, everyone's entitled to their opinion, so you know what? Just do what you want. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. This has been Marvel's Mysteries and Midlanders. I'm James Alexander. He's...
Adam Daly.
And he...
Lewis Carter.
That's the one. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great week, and we'll speak to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Humble, sexy man.